Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am making pickled watermelon rind. That's right, watermelon rind. So I'm getting all my ingredients together. I have my mason jars because that's what it's going in. I've got my large bowl here. I've got my knives. I've got everything all set for this wonderful, wonderful recipe. And of course, I have my watermelon, okay? So I tried to find a small watermelon at the store, but I was unable to. So any size watermelon will work. All we need are some slices from our watermelon, as you see here. I believe I have about 9 slices. So as you see here, we are going to save now the watermelon part of this slice. So don't throw that away. You can snack on that later. But I'm just trying to show you what you need to cut away. So now watch this carefully, and then I'm going to lay this slice down. So you need about that much left of the watermelon on the rind. So now I'm just going to lay that down on my work surface and slowly just cut that away. So easy, so simple to do. Okay, and then this is what I'm leaving attached here. I'm leaving just a little bit of the watermelon. Just going to cut a little bit more of that off like that. Perfect. Okay, and that's what I'm going to leave. Now take that watermelon that you cut away, put it in the bowl, because you can put that in the refrigerator and munch on it later. So let me show you again. You're going to cut about that much, and you just follow that around and around. Make sure that you lay it on your workspace flat so that you can safely and easily cut the extra part of the watermelon away. All right, and so there we go, because this is going to look so beautiful in our mason jars when we are finished. Okay, so then just go on and put that in the bowl, and I'm going to now finish the rest of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have got my watermelon rind there. I've got my gloves on for safety purposes, and I just want to show you our next step. So now we need to peel away the skin off of the watermelon, the green part of the skin, because again, this is pickled watermelon rind. So you're going to carefully hold that slice of rind and that little bit of watermelon in your hand, and just take your knife. Now look, if you want to use a potato peel, that's fine, but I'm going to do it how my great-grandmother and grandmother did. They didn't have that back then. They used a knife, so I am using a knife, and I'm just going to peel away the green part of this watermelon. And you know, cooking is all about taking your time. When you're doing it right and you're putting a lot of love into it, you just want to take your time. This is a great opportunity just to pray. Thank the Lord for the day. Hey, thank you, Lord, for this watermelon. You know, I remember all the times eating watermelon that, you know, you would hear grown-ups say, don't eat the rind, don't eat the rind. Well, you know what? Now you have an excuse to eat the rind, but eat it pickled, of course, okay? So the next time you have a watermelon, don't throw that rind away. No, y'all, save that watermelon rind. Okay, so I've got it just how I want it. Perfect. That looks good. All right, so that green is going to go away, and I am going to finish the rest of these and come right back to you. All right, so we've got all of that green skin peeled off. We're left with our beautiful rind, and I've already started cutting and putting these in the mason jar. Now, I'm going to show you what you need to do next, which is just to cut these up into chunks. Now, how you should cut them, I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want big chunks, small chunks, however you want to munch on these, it's up to you. I've cut mine in quarters, and then I took the quarters and cut them again in half. So about this size, this is the size that I want my watermelon rind to be pickled in my jars. Okay, so you're just gonna cut, make those chunks, and then after we have got our chunks all together, we're going to put them in our jars. This is going to be so beautiful going into our jars. Now we're going to be making a brine for the pickling of the watermelon rind. And I'm telling you, the flavor is going to really bring this out. You're going to say, this is watermelon rind? Yes, this is watermelon rind, y'all. Okay, so I've got a little bit more cutting to do, but once this is done, I'm going to show us the next step. Okay, here they are. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, such beautiful colors in our jars. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is going to be so good. And I just left a little head space there because my brine solution is going to go right up to the neck of this mason jar. So I've got 4 pint size. And now I'm going to go on and start on my brine solution. So you're going to need some apple cider vinegar. I've got some kosher salt, okay? Kosher salt you'll need for this because that always goes in a brine. I've got some peppercorn. Now I know it says, you know, grinded peppercorn, but I'm going to use the whole peppercorn. I've got some coriander seeds. Oh, we got to spice things up, so I'm going to add just a little red pepper to this. And of course, we're going to need some sugar. All right, so we're going to put all of this together for our brine. So let's go on to the next step. Okay, so you're going to need a large pot here for your brine. And we're going to start off first by adding 1.5 cups of water. Now I'm going to cook this at medium-high heat because I definitely want my sugar to dissolve and just all of my ingredients to just fuse together. Okay, so again, that's 1.5 cups of water. Now let's go on and add our apple cider vinegar. You'll need, again, 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. Now you can use white distilled vinegar, but remember apple cider vinegar has that extra kick. So come on, let's make this pickled watermelon rind have that extra kick. All right, the next one is easy again, 1.5 cups of sugar, okay? So far we have 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. And we definitely want to make sure that this sugar is dissolved completely. So here I'm just adding my half of sugar that needs to go into my brine solution. All right. And then we're just going to give this a stir. So as you can see here, that is the sugar that is at the bottom of the pot. And we want to make sure that that sugar is completely dissolved. Okay, that is going to come along great right here. Just stir, 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 stir. All right. Okay, so now let's go on and add our next ingredients here. Okay, so now it's time to add a little spice. We're going to spice things up just a little bit. Come on, it's time to add those red pepper flakes. You'll need a 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, okay? We don't want it too spicy. We just want that spice to just kind of hit. Once it reaches our tongue, just to kind of hit, you know, like, ooh, this is spicy, but not like overwhelmingly spicy. So we have our red pepper flakes right there. And I can smell this already. This is really coming together nicely. Now we're going to add some black peppercorn. Okay, I just took the top off. I'm not going to grind this in. So I want to use whole peppercorns. And once this is put into our mason jars, you know, along with the coloring of the watermelon, the little red part that we left on with the rind, this is also adding some beauty to our pickled watermelon. Let me stir this up just a little bit. I want to get those pepper flakes infused all in our brine. So now the peppercorn. Peppercorn, peppercorn, peppercorn. All right, so sprinkle that in. And you know, I just added a few more for good measure. You always got to have a little good measure, okay? Nothing wrong with a little extra good measure. Okay, so now let's follow this up with some kosher salt. You'll need 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. Just sprinkle that right on in. Sprinkle that right on in. Now as this begins to heat up, it is going to come to a boil. We definitely do want it to come to a boil, so we will need to check on it and keep stirring so that all of these ingredients will fuse together. And guess what? That's it. That's our brine solution. So I'm just going to stir, 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 and let all of these ingredients come together. I can smell it now. Oh, it just smells so good, so good, so good, so good. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot about our coriander seeds. Now, this is a real treat right here, okay? If you've never cooked with coriander seeds, let me tell you, they have wonderful health benefits because the seed itself is full of vitamin K, okay? And yeah, just a little bit more for good measure. Just a little more. I mean, hey, it's full of vitamin K. We need that for our bones. So why not add just a little bit more? Stir, stir, stir. So now I'm just going to put the top on this and let this come to a boil. And we'll check on it in a few minutes. Okay. There's that boil. So I'm just going to stir this again. This looks good. Perfect. All right, so I'm looking down at the bottom. Okay, my sugar is all dissolved there. So I'm going to go on and turn this off and let this cool down a bit before I pour it over my watermelon rind. Okay, so my brine has cooled off. I'm just giving it a stir. As you can see here, see all of my peppercorn and my coriander seeds and my pepper flakes all through that brine solution. And here are my jars. Oh, they are just so gorgeous. Oh, I am so excited about this recipe right here. Okay, this is a southern recipe, y'all. Okay, so now let's go on and pour this brine solution into our mason jars. So here's my funnel, and I'm just going to pour that in. Now, I am not going to put this in a hot water bath solution. This pickled watermelon rind is going to go in the refrigerator. So let me show you again. We're going to leave just a little head space at the top, and you're going to put this brine all the way up, right there to the bottled neck part. And I've got more than enough solution. We're not going to waste any of those peppercorns or those coriander seeds. We're going to make sure that we get all of this wonderful goodness into this mason jar with our watermelon rind. And you know, you can make as much as you want. You can give these away. You may know people who have either had it or haven't had it, and you've told them about it. This is a great recipe, and I'm so glad that I'm able to share this with you on today. I'm gonna add just a little more for good measure. This is a good measure recipe, so just adding a little more. Oh. Ooh, this smells so good. It smells so good. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm just going to take a little of my brine mixture and put it on a paper towel. I'm just going to wipe the tops of this off. Again, these are going to be stored in the refrigerator, but I just want to make sure that my tops don't have any food residue, so that I can get a good seal on it when I put my lids on. Okay? Oh, look at that. You see all of that? You see all that goodness? Oh, yes. I'm just trying to tuck everything in because I want all of those rinds to have its time in this brine. Okay, so I'm just going to use the end of my wooden spoon to just press down. You know from previous videos that I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting all the air out, just so that I can have proper seal. And then once that's done, I'm just going to go on and put the tops on. And just take your time with this. Just take your time with it. So I'm just going to get my tops on like you see me doing here. But now I'm going to go back and check each one. So I'm just making sure that my lids are on, and then I'm going to give it more than just a fingertip tight seal, because we're going to store these a little differently in the refrigerator, and I'll show you in just a few minutes. So just tighten it up. You know, when we do the water bath, we use fingertip tight, but I'm tightening these up just a little tighter. Now, when we put these in the refrigerator, we're going to turn them upside down. You say upside down? Yes, because I want to make sure that the top of our watermelon rind has the brine flavoring first, because we're going to store these in the refrigerator. Here's the waiting time, y'all. 3 to 4 days, okay? So the thing about the brine is you want to make sure that it is completely saturating all throughout the goodness of this food. So that's why I wanted to make sure that everything was completely tightened. Okay? Isn't it beautiful? Oh, I'm so excited. All right. So now go on and store it in your refrigerator, and we gotta wait 3 to 4 days. Okay, everyone, so it has been 3 days, and I have been anxiously awaiting to open up our jar of pickled watermelon rind. But before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the bell notification so that anytime I go live, you will be the first one to know. Okay, are you ready? I am. Let's go. So I've already added the label to our jar of pickled watermelon rind. Okay, let me set it up here. Okay, did you hear that? Airtight. All right, so here we go. Now before I taste it, I just want to let you know this is my first time tasting pickled watermelon rind. I remember my mother telling me all the stories about my great-grandmother and my grandmother pickling this, but I personally have never had it. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to actually do this recipe. So here we go. Okay, and it's so pretty. I just want to show you again. Look at that. Look at all the peppercorns that are in there. Wow, this is just, it is a beautiful, beautiful jar. And it smells so good. Okay, I know. Let me go on and do it. Okay, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna taste one. Let me taste one. Wow, can you hear that? Let me try another one. It's so crunchy. The taste is very different. It tastes like a pickle, but I can taste the apple cider vinegar. It's not overpowering. It's not too strong. And also the peppercorn that's in it really spices it up just a little bit. So there's this sweetness and spiciness all coming together in my mouth. This is good, y'all. Pickled watermelon rind, right from my kitchen to yours. So what are you waiting for? Make some today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.